Hello again. This is Ralph at Stroke Warrior Radio. Thanks for joining in for another episode of Stroke Survivor Stories. The purpose of these stories is to share experience and with their own strokes and their recovery. Conversations and support groups like this have provided me with incredible information to make me motivated to keep going. Let's start with our guest today. It's Chris Adkins. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you, Ralph?
I'm doing fabulous today. It's been a great week. Great week.
Good.
I want to share your the found what yeah, I know what I mean. You know what I mean too. Your
I know
website
what
and
you
all.
mean. It's all good.
Yeah. So what do you and your wife do?
We have started something called Stroke Fitness Warrior, and what that is what has helped me a lot in my recovery after finding my new normal is PT. And the physical part of it has helped me a lot. I've done a lot of PT to get to this point. So we thought, well, you know what? We need to do something to give other people hope. And I think a lot of us stroke survivors need hope to keep going. And we do videos probably daily, and I go
Nice.
live on different social media things really every day. And there's 125 million of us out there
Yeah,
that that's a lot. So we've got to get out there and help and encourage, and that's really where this whole thing started.
yeah. Well, let's talk about your stroke. When was it?
My stroke, I had my first stroke was March 31st, 2016. And then I had two more after that. So I had a total of three.
Wow.
I had two ischemic and one hemorrhagic, which the hemorrhagic was the one that really got my balance. And I ended up going into a coma. I was in a coma for a long period of time, and I had something that was called locked in
Oh,
syndrome, where I
yeah.
could only move my eyes. And I was in that state, my wife tells me, for about 3 weeks,
Hmm.
and woke up from that. And, I'm very, very grateful that I'm even here. And from there, the work really began for me to try and come back. And I was in the hospital for 62 days and started my rehabilitation right after that. And of course, the story goes, I ran out of the insurance ran out. And what do you do?
Yeah.
So I made a decision. My wife, of course, I couldn't drive or anything. My wife drove me to go to an actual gym, and I just decided I'll do it myself. So I took it on myself, did my PT in the gym there. Wasn't very spectacular. It didn't take much. I mean, as you know, as a survivor, I mean, the energy level was just not.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to do something, but then you have to recover from that.
Yeah.
So it was a long journey, and I continually do my PT now, and I'm a real proponent of consistency. As a survivor, I think consistency is just vital. If I skip a day, which very seldom do, I skip a day. It's usually because I don't feel well. I have terrible vertigo sometimes, and I can't go. But what happens is it takes me 2 to 3 days just to get back to the point where I was if I miss a
Yeah.
day, because the brain, I mean, it's rewiring all the time.
Yeah, it
So
is.
even after 8 years, I'm still improving in a lot of areas that I never imagined that I would be. And it's due a lot for me anyway to my consistency with my PT.
Yeah.
And my wife has helped me a lot to encourage me and keep me going. So that's really our short version of my story.
I I hear exactly what you're saying because for 6.5 years, I was on a walker, AFO, a cane, and all of a sudden, well, it wasn't all of a sudden, but within the last 2 years, I'm off the AFO, I'm off the cane. I can even run on a treadmill. So
Fantastic.
sharing hope is exactly what we're doing. We
Yeah,
have to do it. We
this is a
can't give it
great
unless we give it
platform.
away.
Yeah, it's a great platform, Ralph. I'm so glad that we found each other, and
Me too.
thank you for having me on. And
Oh, it's my pleasure.
it there are so many people out there that we've got to touch, and it's amazing the impact that we can have with these people. Just to give them a little glimmer of hope is such a special thing, and I think a lot of people just need general encouragement on this journey we're on. I mean, it's not an easy journey. I mean, it's as you know. So, but yeah, so thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Tell me what limitations were caused by your stroke.
You know what? They we have done so much testing on me, um, the doctors, and never found out a reason why I had my strokes. I mean, it was just came out of the blue. I was very healthy, 49 years old. Um, and once I had the challenge when you have, and I hear this a lot now, when you're young, and I could say 49 is young, but uh, the younger folk, a lot of times they miss it because they think it's something else. They thought that really they focused. I was a, power lifter, and they actually went down the road of me being on steroids and causing this.
Uh,
And I never took a steroid in my life, but they weren't convinced of that. So they did all these tests and everything and all that. And in the meantime, they left me there overnight afterwards after they confirmed I had one. And then I had another one. And then I had the hemorrhagic that really put me down, which put me in the coma. And that
oh,
was the last one that really got me to put me in my locked in state for so long. And that was a real battle to come back from that. I mean, I
yeah.
can't even go there. It's so scary. Locked
How
in
long were you
syndrome
in the
all night.
coma?
About 3 weeks.
Okay. And then you
Yeah.
stayed in the hospital for another.
I was in the hospital a total of 62 days, my wife
Wow.
says. Yeah.
Does that include inpatient rehab or?
No, no,
Wow.
that's just there. The rehab really started right after that. And I did rehab because of my background, in the power. I was really focused on muscle memory, trying to get that back. So I was hungry to get into the to do the PT, and once I started it, it was amazing how it was short, but the brain did start to rewire. And it's interesting when the brain rewires. It takes longer to get to the hands and the feet.
Yeah, it does.
So it was, I could tell a difference in my shoulder or my trap area, or but the connection to my actual hands and my feet took much longer. Took a lot of work
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
there, and you would understand that from what you just told me. So,
Yeah. So your left side was affected as well, just like
yep,
mine.
yeah, I'm left side affected, and I call it lefty. I mean, because for a long time, lefty kind of had a mind of its own, and it was so bad that I would just knock things over with my left hand, and
Yep.
my left leg would just kick out. And through time, it's just a repetitive motion where I started to gain more control and didn't have to use my walker and got out of the wheelchair, and
Yeah.
then slowly went to a cane and got off the cane. It just
Exactly.
it takes time.
I, the how did you feel about the original process, recovery process early on?
Boy,
Once you got into therapy. And the interesting thing is, being an athlete, I was too.
okay,
You have a different mindset. The
yeah,
did that original recovery knock you down a little bit with that from the what they were telling you?
Oh, did it ever? Yeah, I mean, it was, it's interesting because as an athlete, we have a certain area that we can go to, I believe, to push harder than a lot of people even. I was a runner and I was an actual power lifter later in life. And there's a place you can go in your mind that just takes you to another area where you can push very hard. And I realized I was in deep trouble when they couldn't even sit me up. I was a weeble wobble. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I had no control of anything. And it took three people to hold me upright. And from there, I just knew I'm gonna have to really work at this. And I asked for more PT um, than usual. And I ended up working myself up to about 3 times a day of
Nice.
doing the PT in addition to the OT and the speech.
Oh, you had a
Uh,
species issue as well?
yeah, oh yeah. I had aphasia for a long time.
Mm,
Um, Worked on that for quite a long time, and um, I'm excited I have my voice. So that was another reason why my wife said, let's start this stroke fitness warrior thing. Just let you talk, and others can relate because it's amazing, Ralph. I don't all the things that happen to me when someone tells me something, I can relate with that subject and immediately connect with them, and I can encourage them in that area what you can do to improve, and that we're here for them. I
yeah,
mean, literally, they direct message us and ask us questions, and we can be there. And I think a lot of people need that.
yeah, they do. And I think early on too, that we're not told as much because frankly, and this is my opinion of medical, I believe in medical things, but they want to use drugs, they want to use prescriptions. They don't know as much about stroke in some cases, or that um, one guy told me this. I was always angry at the doctors, and he told me, he said, you're alive. He's got to go concentrate on other patients that might not be alive yet. So there's a dichotomy going on there that makes it very difficult in the beginning.
Yes.
What are some of the most difficult things that you had to deal with in the beginning?
Uh, Boy, I would say just trying to find my new normal. What was life going to be like? And I also, it was a very difficult thing. You can hear when you're in a coma, you can hear everything that people are saying, and there
Oh,
was a lot of negativity. I mean, actually, to the point where they were considering pulling the cord on me. Uh, and it was, if it wasn't for my wife being there all the time, I probably would not be here. So it was that was a tough thing to get through because you're fighting and you're just hoping that, that you can move something to show them you're in here, you're
yeah.
alive. And I would try to move my finger or anything. The challenge that I was having is that I had such a delay that by the time I moved, they would leave. And my wife would have to come and get them, and they would just say, don't get your hopes up. And in my mind, I'm thinking, please don't give up on me. I swear I'm alive. So, that was a tough deal to get through. And oh, there's my cat. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
hello, cat. Yeah,
So
I can
those
imagine.
that's some of the stuff that I went through that was a challenge, and there's a lot more. I mean, it's just, I think our minds after time, you're just trying to I don't like to go down that road very often because I'm so into moving forward that I don't like to even go back there a lot of times because I just it's such a tough area from my brain, if that makes any sense, to go
Yeah.
to that area.
Well, and it's interesting because the in the beginning, overcoming the adversities, can't some people have a mindset, some people have a family member, a caregiver, or something like that. Did you find that this is your chance to brag about your wife, I guess? Was that all a mindset, or was it her? Or what was the major overcome adversity impetus for you?
I would say, well, I mean, the mindset is it has to be very powerful, but probably what helped me the most would be my wife being there every second for all the 62 days. I couldn't look, but I could kind of hear her moving over there because I couldn't move my head. I was
Yeah,
looking up at the ceiling for a long period of time, and then she would come in my view of vision, and just that gave me encouragement alone to keep fighting. And then last but certainly not least would be I pushed as hard as I could, and faith is what carried me forward. I mean, I really
faith is
believe
a
that.
big thing. Yes,
Yeah.
big for our new survivors that may not be athletes or may not be certain things. How do they learn that mindset?
You know, that's a good question, Ralph. I would say you have to have to acquire that mindset, you have to be uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. You can't be comfortable when it comes to recovery. There is just no comfort zone. You have to always keep pushing, because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in that area where you are.
Yeah,
And I think we all would agree, we all want to get better. And the only way I know to get better is to keep pushing forward. And the only way to do that is consistency and just never quit.
yeah.
Never, ever quit.
Well, and I think in the beginning too, a lot of the medical and physical therapists and those kind of things told, at least me, they told this was as good as it's going to get in
Yep.
about 6 months.
Yep.
When, was there a point in time when that clicked that you could do better than that mindset?
You know what? That clicked for me while I was still in my coma. Believe it or not, I would thought, you know what? I'm going to show these people a thing or two, and I decided that as soon as I could sit up, which I was in my mind, I thought I'm going to sit up. I am going to go 100% more, whatever I can do to get better. And I didn't like that at all. And we're not stroke victims, we're stroke survivors. And I
Yep.
think that's a heavy duty mind game right there. When someone tells you you're not a victim, you're a survivor. And I really believe that if you believe that, and which we are, then you just go get them.
Yeah.
And I was determined that I was not going to listen to them. And here I am 8 years later, still seeing improvement.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I there's a couple times that I lost hope, so that were really dark moments.
Mhm.
And after 6.5 years, I got off my cane in AFO. How long did it take you to get off all that?
It probably took me, let's see, I would say I was 3 to 4 years,
Yeah,
probably 4 years. Yeah. Yeah. And then I just gradually worked on and got on the cane. I went from a 4 prong cane to a single cane. And then I just started using a cane when I felt it was necessary. Like if I had a bad vertigo day or my balance was off, that last stroke got my balance really bad.
yeah,
So once I felt more comfortable that I could walk on my own, then I would just try it. And really, it's trial and error. I would just see how far I could go this day. And then next day, I'd try to go further. And I
yeah.
just kept going at it. But we're all going to have dark days. I mean, it's not, I'm sitting here saying it's tough, man. And
Shoot, you're frozen. Maybe it's on my end. Okay, you were frozen there.
Oh, okay, we're back.
Yeah, you were talking about how tough it was. I'm going to take your uh, stroke survivor comment a little bit further, and I learned this when I came to Bend from Stroke Awareness Oregon. We're stroke warriors.
Yes,
If you stay in there and fight, you will get better.
I
You
like it,
know,
Ralph.
some may be slower, and it may not look pretty. I mean, when you first started walking without the cane, it wasn't pretty, was it?
No, no. It's still really, it's still really not that pretty, but in my mind, it's a beautiful thing because I'm doing so much better than where I was before.
Yeah,
So I'm just so thankful that that I'm even here and able to do these things. And you are right, we are warriors, Ralph. I mean, that's it's only other survivors and warriors really understand what it is we've gone through to get to this level, to this point. You can talk, I mean, other family members we have that aren't stroke survivors just don't understand that whole thing of, oh, you look better today.
yeah.
It's a brain injury is just, they can't see it. So a lot of people just don't understand. Like when I park in a handicap spot, what's wrong with this guy? It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
so I just, I agree with you 100% on that warrior thing.
Well, and the once you get that hope, and one of the most difficult things I have always been difficult at, even before the stroke, is I don't accept what I've accomplished. I'm
Mm-hmm.
worried about what I'm doing and what I got to do.
Yep.
And I started recognizing that with the stroke that, hey, I can fight through this. I'm
Yeah.
better than this,
Yep.
you know. And I was so angry at the doctor saying this is good as it gets. I was going to show them, like
Right.
you're in your coma. So it's
Yeah. You've got
interesting.
the attitude. I mean, that's the attitude it takes. I mean, if all of us survivors warriors listen to what they say, we would just we'd be in trouble. I mean, you gotta know that we are, first of all, to survive something like that is an incredible thing. And I don't think, unless doctors are very good at what they do, but they haven't experienced what we've experienced. And that's
Yeah,
where you have this show that you can communicate it. And and that's kind of where I'm coming into, where I'm trying to talk to people to encourage them that we've survived it. We are warriors and we're going after it. So,
yeah. Did you seek out other stroke survivors, or did you just happen to find some that made made it a little easier for you to develop your mindsets?
that's a whole, but the short version is there, I couldn't find a whole lot of survivors. There was really not a whole lot of survivor groups. We lived in Florida, in South Florida, and when I had these strokes, and I had lived down there for 40 plus years. And we decided, after living on disability, that we couldn't afford to live in Florida and we would just find another place to go. And we landed out here. And amazingly, there's a lot of survivors out here. And it kind of encouraged us to start this group,
Yeah.
this stroke fitness warrior group.
Tell me what did you learn from your experience that makes your recovery better?
Boy, that's a good question too. From my experience, I would say what I learned, um, I learned a lot of things, but I think the main thing is I look out this window right now is I really appreciate everything so much more than I ever did. I really do. I mean, I'm looking out, blue sky, white clouds, green trees, snow on the mountains. I would never have even looked at that or appreciated that before my strokes. I have a much greater appreciation for life in general and an appreciation for people in my circle that are just so kind that I gravitate towards them and I love it. I mean, relationships are so important when you go through something like this too. And the ones that are with you, really, you value those relationships more than you ever did before. That's for sure.
When you found other stroke survivors, did that make your recovery better?
I think it did. It helped me. I can tell you it helped me because I could communicate uh, challenges that I was having, what's working, what's not working. Tell me what's working for you. I can tell you what's working for, it helps.
Makes a
It,
difference. See?
it does. It makes a
Yeah,
big difference. And, I learned a lot about, not feeling so bad about taking a nap during the day or two naps, whatever it is. If you feel tired, do it.
yeah,
And then you get up, you're energized, and then you go again. It's just it's finding that new norm, and I heard that over and over again. I was like, man, I got to find this new norm.
yeah.
And once
What
I
is
found
that?
it, then I was on it. And it was thanks to a lot of other survivors that I could communicate with.
How did you
Because
find them?
I found a lot of them just through in this area. Once I found one, which actually my neighbor here is a survivor, then he introduced me to others, and it just went on, snowballed from there.
Yeah,
And then when I got on social media, I quickly realized there is a lot of people that we can connect with, and let's connect.
yeah.
And once we started that, we grew from nothing to one of our social media accounts. I think we have like 15,000 followers or something. Um,
Wow.
it's just so many of them that started reaching out, and it's global now.
Yeah,
So I have my local group, then I have my state group, the country, and then you go in the world, and there's a lot of survivors out there that need encouragement.
yeah. We're up to 16 countries on Stroke Warrior Radio.
Wow, that's
You know,
fantastic.
yeah, it's really cool.
Good for you. You are making
Tell,
a difference, my friend.
it's been a year since I
That's
started it, but it's going
wonderful.
well. Tell me, how's your recovery today?
My recovery is really well, I think. I mean, I still have, we all have areas to improve on. I think the mindset of finding what's weak and exposing it and working at it has worked for me. My weakness still is trying to walk straight, if that makes any sense. I
It
still
does.
sometimes find myself leaning. So
Hmm.
I'm really working on my gait on a daily basis, on
Yes,
a treadmill, on a stair stepper, even in the back
frozen again.
for a minute, but you're back now.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, you started to say on the stair stepper, and then what the heck? Wow. I don't know if it's my computer or yours. Uh-oh. I think we lost each other. Come on back.